If you're watching this video right now, it can only mean one thing. It means that my thumbnail worked, and my thumbnail only worked because you like money. So here's the deal. In this video, I'm going to be telling you about a great opportunity that you should be taking advantage of right now that could potentially double or triple your investment in the short term. And I'm even going to tell you exactly how I plan on playing it. So don't you go anywhere because we're going to be starting right now. Hey, what's going on? It's Pat from Top Ticker Trades. If you're new here and you want to learn how to use stocks and options to make your portfolio go parabolic, make sure you start now by subscribing and tapping that bell so you never miss an upload. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a very special opportunity that just presented itself, or at least we just recently got confirmation that the two companies were planning on moving forward with the reverse merger. So in case anybody was wondering why the stock was just waking up, there you have it. I know that you guys don't want to hear about the boring stuff any more than I want to talk about it, but unfortunately it's something that we must do. But I will make a deal with you and tell you that I will make it short and sweet, and then we can move on to all the fun stuff, such as talking about where we think the stock will go and how to play it. So the company I was referring to was Paysafe, which is essentially a payment platform company that goes public through a reverse merger with blank check company Foley Trasimene. Now, I know that kind of sounds like a medication, but trust me, guys, it's not. It's not like any medication I've ever taken. I'm just kidding, y'all. Anyhow, so the current ticker for the company is BFT, and post-merger, the new company is expected to trade on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol PSFE. The merger values Paysafe at $9 billion, and of course, Bill Foley will become chairman of the company's board. Paysafe competes in the payments and fintech space and has a very attractive combo of payment assets. One of those being a leading digital wallet, which I'm sure most of you have at the very least already heard of. It's called Skrill, and if you haven't heard of Skrill, it's one of the fastest growing e-businesses as well as merchant businesses. So if you haven't heard of it, I would highly encourage you to Google it so that you have a better idea of what you're putting your money into. So one last thing about Skrill, that aspect of the business is focused on high growth vertical merchants, and it has some significant long-term growth potential via strategic acquisition. When a company goes public, it mainly does that to pretty much raise capital. The company wants to attract investors so that it can grow. So one thing that's not really talked about much on other YouTube channels is how the team on the SPAC side will benefit the company that they're merging with. But in our case, Foley intends to help by identifying strong acquisition prospects, which will strengthen Paysafe. Now, Paysafe is an integrated payment platform. It's processing $100 billion worth of annual payment volume with 20 years of experience in digital commerce. They're in a great payment space right now because 75% of their revenues are e-commerce, and they are more exposed to faster growth ways of payments and the deeper, more valuable ones where it's harder to get into. They also have a long history as the global market leader in iGaming, where they have 20 years of experience, and with the US growing at the rate that it currently is, they are extremely well positioned to win that market as well. And the last thing that I want to mention is that they've made tremendous investments to drive scalable platforms across technology, which are very deep and difficult platforms to replicate with risk and regulatory management. The experience of their teams and clear architectural technologies give them a playbook for M&A consolidation. They see 4 clear areas for growth, including that platform consolidation. The first area of growth is unlocking revenue and expense, then synergies across Paysafe, continue to win in their core vertical into their emerging verticals, and driving proactive M&A. It all starts with their core products: a scaled digital wallets business, a powerful alternate wallet payment called eCash, and a scaled international integrated cross-payment platform. In terms of digital wallet, Paysafe stresses that this is not your typical light wallet that passes through card credentials. The CEO stated that this is a very deep and functional wallet that's able to really service very engaged and digitally savvy true gamers and traders with over 4 million customers in 100 markets. And fundamentally, the wallet does a few key things. Number one, you can fund in and out of that wallet very quickly across dozens of ATMs and hundreds of markets. Number two, you can take those funds into the merchant and then back out again. And it's that back out again functionality that is incredibly important for their true gamers and players across multiple sites. And last but not least, you can move money around in many other ways. You can take money out of the wallet, back into the bank, and you can move it from P2P or from wallet to wallet, or you can move it from wallet to international bank account, which creates international remittance, which is a nice area for growth. They also have 30 markets with prepaid card accounts where the cards are on the channel so that you can use it online or in a store. And the company gets $23 billion through this ecosystem every single year. But now let's talk about their eCash for just a moment. So the CEO says that this is one of the most unique and flexible products that he has ever come across. They make cash available in a digital form through over 650,000 distribution points in over 50 countries, and they service well over 12 million customers. They service these customers in two ways: the invoicing way and a prepay way. You can essentially visit any of the distribution points in person to put down a little bit of money and get a prepaid card, or you can also go online and you can buy online, or you can put in a shopping cart online, and instead of choosing pay with card, you can choose to pay safe cash, and which then that will allow you to get a barcode, and you can then go back to one of the same distribution points and scan that there. But who exactly does Paysafe service? Well, millions of Gen 2 and millennial gamers. For example, anyone playing games like Fortnite on PlayStation, anyone that's using downloading services for songs such as Spotify. They also service the casual gamer, and they described that as basically someone that uses iGaming services. Essentially, they cater to two specific populations: the global e-commerce players with a specific vertical like iGaming or direct market. They're a scaled S&D player across the US with over 200 merchants in the US. So Paysafe is one of the largest players in that market with a strong focus on providing e-commerce solutions to S&D merchants as well. All right, I'm glad that's over. Now we can really talk about the fun stuff like how we're gonna play this stock to make money. So here's what I'm gonna do. While I have you here, I wanted to quickly tell you about the brand new First Trade app, available for mobile or PC. The platform will give you access to powerful and easy to use tools and allows you to trade with less restrictions, zero commissions, zero fees, and you can use the first link in the description below to download a free stock today without having to deposit any money. This will greatly help out the channel and is always appreciated. And now back to your regularly scheduled programming. So here's the game plan. And by the way, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, please be sure to do so because it really helps out this channel and it's the best way to help support your content creators. Normally we like to get it on SPACs as soon as possible or as early as possible, especially if we know that it's a good company that's merging. So here's how I play it. This one doesn't really have options, so I play it a little differently than the ones that do have options, and I'll actually get into that in another video. But back to BFT. So there are a few things to consider here. Number one, we have a $10 floor, meaning that our risk to the downside is at this time only $3.20, and that's assuming that you buy this stock right now at the price it's at, which is $13.20 in the after hours. But to make a quick point, that's why I love trading these SPACs, because your risk is essentially defined, making it easy for anyone to identify potential risk versus reward. Now, number two, we know that this merger will not go through until the first half of 2021, but to be specific, the company said that it plans on merging in the second quarter, so we're talking about April and June, which is pretty much a long time away. So with that being said, don't be surprised if the share price remains pretty stagnant, unless of course there's PRs coming. So the usual pattern that we see out of these SPACs is a run up when they first announce that the merger is going to go through, and then if the merger date is close by, then we usually see some upwards movement, sometimes a lot of upwards movement as we approach the merger date, and then a sell-off. but we have seen a few that went parabolic after the merger. So there's really no way to predict, what's going to happen, but a good thing to do is to be prepared for pretty much anything. So my general strategy with SPACs is pretty simple. It's to move in fast, and if I get the right SPAC at the right price, like within the $10 range, I'm going to load the boat. But if I do miss that $10 range, then the next range I'm willing to start my initial position at is, up to 13 or even 13.50. And then I'll start buying in to average down on any red days. This is especially what I'm going to be doing with this stock. Today it pulled back to the mid 12s. So of course I bought more, and the lower it goes, the more I plan on buying. Now what I see happening with this stock for now is that we continue to trade in a range, and it could possibly be the range that we're seeing now until we start getting closer to the merger date. So unless there's some type of PR or a catalyst, of course, we may break out of this range here and there, but it won't be, very likely that we'll see it all the time or often. And I do expect it to drop afterwards. Now with that being said, anytime that I do see a significant move to the upside and see some significant gains, I'm going to be selling a portion. So how much I sell will depend on the size of the move. My goal is to sell enough shares to cover my initial investment and keep the remainder of the shares for free. Then I'll be buying back whenever the stock drops back down to reasonable levels. So with the amount of time left to go until this merger is completed, I wouldn't expect this stock to be able to sustain any major moves to the upside. Now think back to Lordstown Motors, or ticker symbol RIDE. For a while it was, pretty much known as the stock that just wouldn't go down. It only knew one direction, and that was up. Until the day that it dropped all the way back down to where it started. And how many times did we see that happen afterwards? Probably, a couple, 2 or 3. So keep that in mind and always take profits along the way. But one thing that I've learned is to never sell the entire position on any stock that you intend on holding. So buy a position that you are holding, and then you can buy some shares to trade. Another thing about this stock is that right now the volume has been fairly low, and a lot of people still don't even know about it and don't even realize that it's available or what it is. So once they do find out, you can expect a lot of volatility and some serious FOMO buying, which will drive the price up for sure. But for now, don't get your hopes up that it happens too quickly, and I would expect the real FOMO to go down a lot closer to the actual merger date. Congrats, ladies and gentlemen, you've made it to the end of the video. If you like what you watched, make sure you subscribe, because I put out videos just like this one every single day. And please do me a favor and smash that like button if I helped you in any way, because it really goes a long way in helping the channel out and keeps me motivated to make videos every single day. Now there's a lot of work involved, a lot of research, and a lot of time and effort into editing and putting these out daily for you guys. You can subscribe from your screen right now, or if you want to watch one of my other videos, I'm sure YouTube has some good content picked out for you on the left-hand side of your screen now. Thanks for sticking it out with me till the end, and I will see you guys in the next video.